Hello, once again, my name's Juicy Pat Lucy, and you're listening to The Juicy Details.
Yeah, you botched that. You might want to start again.
The voice you just heard, that was Ben Ward. He's joining me again for International Month.
Alright, so you're not starting again.
And then our guest today, he's already here. He's from England too. Please welcome Chris Brookes.
Go on.
Not Robbie Brookside, as you called him earlier on.
Yes, I actually did confuse you earlier with Robbie Brookside. That was my bad.
Happens all the time.
I feel like it doesn't. Yeah, so Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm alright, thank you. If the connection holds up, I'm happy to be here. I'm always pleased to hear the soothing, dulcet tones of Ben Ward.
Yeah.
Why not? Is.
I was under the impression we'd be talking a lot about Zandig, so...
Well, my first question, like most first questions on the podcast, is, Chris, how did you first become a fan of professional wrestling?
I couldn't afford to get Sky Television when I was younger. Well, not necessarily me, but my family couldn't. So I got into wrestling when my uncle lent me some WWF tapes that were really old. So around the time that most people were enjoying the Attitude Era, I was watching stuff from the late 80s and early 90s and completely oblivious to the fact that anything else was going on. That was how I got into it. It was only really when I started talking to people at school who didn't know who Ric Flair was as such, I realised I was a bit behind the times.
Well, I know, like, WCW was on free television back then, like TNA's is nowadays. Did you watch WCW back then, or were you more just a WWF fan?
That was like the next progression, I guess, when I was about 7 or 8 years old. WCW used to come on TNT after Cartoon Network went off on televisions over here. I don't know if it was the same over there.
As well.
I didn't know what Channel 5 was, Ben. I was a child.
Yeah, no, you're a lot younger than me.
Yeah, I'm a baby. So I watched it after Cartoon Network for a while. That was for a couple of years until TNT once aired an advert for A Nightmare on Elm Street in between one of the breaks of Nitro, and it gave me nightmares for about 3 months. So I stopped watching that, and then finally got Sky One, which I think was free anyway, and could watch Superstars on a Sunday. Pat has no idea what we're talking about. Sorry.
The US guy here, yeah. But no, so were you more of a WCW fan or WWF?
WCW, really. I liked the older WWF stuff. And then, obviously, because I got into it watching, like, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and whatnot on tape, when I did find wrestling on TV, I was more into WCW because it was sort of the same people had all jumped ship by then and were over there. And Superstars was never a very good program. It was mostly, like, squash matches and freeze-frame clips of Raw, like blanking out every time someone got hit with a chair or went through a table.
They used to have WCW, though.
Not on Nitro, not when it was on a Friday night.
Oh, really? When I watched WCW, they had, like, the cartoon things flash up that said, like, bang.
Maybe on your bullshit Channel 5 version, but not on TNT, mate. We were watching Freddy Krueger adverts in between. We were hardcore.
They'd show, like, porn afterwards on Channel 5, but you're not allowed to see someone get hit with a chair.
8. I wasn't interested in porn. I didn't know what a vagina was. The Nitro girls were an irritation for me. Get rid of them. Don't want them. Not interested. Give me more Buff Bagwell.
Who could forget Buff Bagwell?
Buff Bagwell was my favourite wrestler. I once bought a flag with Buff Bagwell on when I went to see WCW at the NEC.
Do you still have it?
No, sadly. If I did, I'd probably still have it up in my room though, just to try and be like, a bit ironic. But sadly, it's been lost somewhere. I remember that was a super disappointing show because I got a program and it had like everyone in, and then small print saying that like Kevin Nash and Goldberg were only appearing in Manchester and London. Birmingham, I think we got Hacksaw Jim Duggan in a hardcore match. And David Flair.
Oh, David Flair.
He got dragged away by his genitals with a crowbar by Daphne. I think Booker T opened the show.
Oh, good memories. Good memories.
Not at all. It's a miracle I actually still like wrestling, really. You'd have thought all the previously mentioned experiences would have put me off, but it's alright, I guess. I still like it.
I don't know, me personally, if I went to my first ever show and I saw a dude being dragged, by a chick, like, by a crowbar between his testicles, I'd be like, yeah, I want to do that shit.
Need more of this in my life.
Pat pays good money for that anyway, so...
I can imagine. I'm not sure if that might have been the second show. Sometime around that age, I saw a show at Butlins as well, with like a fake doink. But I'm not sure which quite came first. There was a fake doink and a fake, although thinking about it now, it could have been real, Ricky Morton.
How can you have a fake Ricky Morton? Is it just a guy with like a mullet?
Yeah, a blonde mullet.
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
So how long after this did you decide that you wanted to become a professional wrestler? And then where did you go to get your training from?
For a little bit after, I actually didn't watch wrestling for quite a period. There was a period of when I was starting secondary school, or I guess high school, I didn't watch wrestling at all. And then towards the end of finishing it, people that Ben will be familiar with, there was quite a few of them. They were doing wrestling shows every Friday night in a church hall on blue mats with tables for ropes. And one of my friends at school's cousin was doing it, so he started. And I was like, okay, I suppose that could be a laugh. And I went along there and met a very young Jim and Lee Hunter. And we used to beat each other up on Friday nights in this old church on little blue crash mats.
And ironically, that's probably going to happen on Saturday. It's come full circle, you're back in a church, so...
It's come full circle, I'm back in a church, beating up the Hunter brothers, except now it's in a ring, not on crash mats, which is slightly better, I guess. But I kind of do miss pretending that tables were ropes, and just stopping when you reach them, and running back in the other direction.
So you got your career started, I believe in 2008, that's what I have in my notes here. So can you talk about your career early on and some of the promotions you worked for, some of the guys you worked with early on in your career?
Early on it was super messy, where it was pretty much because around that time I was 17, 18, and more interested in going out and getting drunk and being a little shit. So I moved away from where I'm from as well. And I was living, so I wasn't really doing too much wrestling. It was just sort of whatever came along, I'd do, but my priority was being a young bellend. But I mean, I wrestled for the Hunter brothers around that time. They were running AWE shows in the Midlands, so I was doing that still. And I was doing a place in Rugby called War, and there was a place in Wickham that Ben will probably bring up later that I was doing. But early on, it was just very few and far between actually doing anything, and not really taking it seriously until sort of around 2010, 11.
Now, I want to get into more some of the promotions you work with over the years that you still work with today in England and all over Europe. I want to hear more about Attack Pro Wrestling, because this is a promotion I've been hearing about most recently now, and it's been a lot of buzz, a lot of good reviews, and Ben even mentioned that you held the 24/7 title for this promotion.
I did, yeah, for about 3 hours. Attack is, I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask, whether it's a good or a bad thing. To me, I think Attack's like a ton of fun. It's great wrestling, but it's also quite light-hearted. There's a lot of comedy thrown in, and yeah, it's just about fun, really. As cheesy and lame as that probably sounds, it's just a group of people who all sort of share sort of the same ideas and stuff, and all really get along. And yeah, it's just fun. The 24/7 belt's something that they've started recently. I beat the wild boar for it. I did a crossbody off of a small bridge and pinned him in the middle of Cardiff somewhere. And then a few hours later, Arthur Klaus the Saxon beat me with an abdominal stretch in a fun fair park. So obviously it was good to hold that belt for the few hours that I held it. I had a few defences in the town centre in Cardiff, and then sadly lost it. They've just recently finished up their Christmas tour over the weekend of the 20th, 21st and 22nd, I think, of December. And they're like slow releasing now the trailers. I think it got most well known with people for the press start show they did. It was all like video game themed and stuff. And that got something like 30,000 views on YouTube. And then they've done like summer themed shows, American Pie sort of jock films of the late 90s theme shows, Christmas shows, and they've got so many more ridiculous ideas planned for like all these themed shows and stuff that would look ridiculous in YouTube trailers. So it's a lot of fun. I like doing Attack.
Ben, do you have any opinions, comments about Attack?
I mean, Chris pretty much summed it up. It's just fun. It's kind of bizarre and ridiculous, but take it with a pinch of salt, and it's pretty crazy to watch. So
there's like an evil sunflower wrestling there. A guy from the 50s is wrestling there. I broke his back recently. That was like less fun when I gave him a T-bone suplex into the corner, and he left his kettlebell there, which was less fun. More.
Yeah, you also,
but
you kind of got me
yeah,
taking
it's ridiculous characters, ridiculous video.
Alright, let's get into some other promotions you work for. I know, Fight Club Pro, that's one of the big promotions in there in England, or I know Ben always talks about how awesome Fight Club Pro is, but
it's kind of underground, actually. I wouldn't say it's one of the biggest at all, but it's one of the most fun.
Well, maybe not biggest, but I know it's definitely one of the most known about and talked about promotions in England, especially when I'm talking to you about it. So, yeah, Chris, so can you talk a little bit about your career over in Fight Club and your opinions on it?
Fight Club Pro is like the complete parallel, I'd guess, to sort of the mantra of Attack. I don't know if Ben would agree. Whereas, like, as fun as the shows are as well. Yeah, it's equally as fun.
Just in a different way.
Yeah, in a completely different way. Whereas Attack's all sort of tongue-in-cheek, very humour-based. I guess Fight Club Pro is like I wouldn't say serious, maybe. Primal?
Yeah.
Fight Club Pro is more primal.
Aggression.
Aggressive. I guess serious is sort of an appropriate word. There's definitely no like wrestling sunflowers or anything like that at Fight Club Pro. It's much more about wrestling. It's still like a really fun show. The crowd participation makes it really fun, but it is definitely more about people going out and fucking each other's shit.
Any favorite matches or memories from Fight Club?
From Fight Club, I mean, favorite matches. Anytime I get to tag with Gresham is always really fun. I really enjoyed I don't like calling it the death match with the Clint Margera because I don't think there was that much death involved really, but I enjoyed that match. The recent Infinity was fun.
Well, Ben actually mentioned earlier, you've had like apparently over 200,000 matches with Jonathan Gresham. Ben's math might be off a little bit, but sounds like you've had plenty of matches against?
The
or
numbers
with?
sound pretty accurate, kind of like give or take. About 10, maybe 10 higher, 10 lower. No, I don't know if it's that much, maybe, but we have had quite a few singles matches. I mean, especially where in Wickham at EWA, where Ben goes to the shows, there was a period where we had like 3 in a row there.
We've actually gotten banned from a venue as well, but...
We what?
Well, actually, there was when Gresham, he was wrestling you at the time, I think. He did like a moonsault or something and broke a load of glass, and that's what got them like thrown out of the judo club, I think.
Oh yeah, we got them kicked out of the venue. That was the second match we had there. He did a bandera me to the outside, slid through and went for the moonsault, and landed like in the front row on this little black child and their glass of cola. And I guess smashed it everywhere. But I mean, they can't solely blame that on us. That venue wanted them out for a long time anyway. I think that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back with that venue, is that Gresham nearly crushed a child and smashed glass all over their judo mat.
Well, we talked about a few of the promotions in England, unless you have any others you won't like to talk about. Or actually, no, my question is, I've heard a lot of positive things about most of the promotions in England. Is there any promotions in England, or maybe in Europe in general, that has a bad reputation amongst the independent wrestling scene over there? That you can think of?
Ben?
Or maybe, yeah, Benny can
I
answer this.
could definitely answer it, but I'm not going to, because I think I'd probably get in trouble for it.
Which place are you thinking of? Is it a place that's kind of near you?
There's several. I could say like 3 or 4, but...
I'm trying to think of some, like, that are genuinely...
I mean, there's like
disliked.
terrible, and then there's like annoying.
Oh, I know. I think I probably know the one you mean for annoying.
Yeah.
Is it Northern?
Yeah, we know which one we're talking about.
Okay. There is like borderline terrible ones around. I mean, there's plenty of those. I'm trying to think of one that's particular. There was always PTW, but that's like gone now.
I mean, I see plenty still that have like Microsoft Paint posters and, you know, just a generally terrible outlook on everything, but...
Oh god, there is one, yeah. There's one like running in the Midlands at the moment, and I'm pretty sure no one associated is even gonna listen to this, but their posters feature a lot of... You remember the word art that you'd get on like Microsoft Word? Their posters are mostly made up of that, and on their December post, they misspelt the word Christmas as Chirtmas. And it was advertising wrestling with the biggest Chirtmas pie of the year in word art. So, there's that.
How do you misspell Christmas?
I don't know. Does word art have a spell check feature on it? I know Word does, like if you're just typing, but I don't know if it does when you insert word art. So maybe that's where the mistake was made. I think misspelling Christmas is perfectly plausible from like just typing really quickly, but the fact that no one noticed before printing hundreds and putting them up around town that they'd misspelled Christmas is pretty incredible.
No, yeah, that's even worse. I mean, misspelling Christmas, that's one thing, but then printing out all these flyers with the misspelled word on it and not noticing it, yeah, that's an entire different stupidity right there.
Merry Chirtmas, everyone. They had some really fun write-ups on their posters as well. They did like individual posters for matches, and they were like so 70s Brit Rest. They described the matches as like, watch out front row, make sure you don't drop your crisps and your pop, because this one's going to be all over the building. And dumb shit like that. But I like that kind of, I'm happy that's around. I think it'd be really boring without it.
Now, besides England, you've wrestled a couple places across Europe, such as WXW in Germany. What was WXW like for you?
WXW is like I think easily by miles the biggest thing in all of Europe. So I mean, initially when you go there, it's like quite intimidating. It was definitely the first time I went, the biggest crowd I'd ever wrestled in front of, and they've got such like a talented roster. It is really super nerve wracking, but everyone there is very well. I mean, the crowd are like really appreciative of the respectful crowd. I love wrestling, and yeah, I look forward to going back. I really like WXW. It's a lot of fun, good people, good crowd, and a nice canvas made of plastic.
No, we covered Europe for the most part. I want to get into your United States visit. About a year ago, you came over here to the U.S., you stayed here for a little bit, and you wrestled for the CZW promotion for a couple times. Yep. Yeah, so let's talk about that trip. What was it like for you coming over to the U.S. for the first time and wrestling over here in front of a U.S. crowd?
It was very cool. I mean, again, it was sort of the same in which it was like incredibly nerve-wracking. When I was sort of getting back into wrestling when I was like 16, 17, it was through sort of things like the Wrestling Channel, which we had over at the time. I mean, they used to show a lot of CZW, and like some of the first indie DVDs that I ever bought were like Cage at F7 and the Night of Infamy that preceded it. So it was very surreal getting to wrestle for CZW, but obviously really cool. America in general was like, again, sort of a similar mix of, like, I had a lot of fun some places, like Rockstar Pro Wrestling in Dayton was like a really cool place to wrestle. I like how they've got the weekly thing going over there. I think it means you get obviously a lot more ring time, a lot more experience, but then as a direct parallel to that, there was another place running in, I think it was Franklin, Ohio, called First Class Wrestling, and that was like this massive but really short, hard yellow and black boxing ring in like this small hall, and every week there'd be about like 20 morons turn up, for lack of a better word, and that was like the shit. But it was still fun. I got to have some like good matches there. I got to wrestle Dave Chris there, Dustin Reyes. Had a couple of matches with Alex Colon there. So it was still good, but like there was some proper freaks go to those shows. I got like a love letter off some retarded kid. Some dude.
I remember
like,
that, G.
Yeah,
I think you put it on Facebook or something at the time.
I did put it on Facebook. She misspelt loads of things and was like, "My friend likes you as well, but I like you more. Please don't think this is weird." I was like, "It's very weird." This dude hated me there as well. I remember specifically this one guy really hated me. And then he like added me on Facebook, and all his pictures were like him posing with guns. And I was like, "Oh, shit. I'm gonna get like shot up." I dry humped an American flag there as well, which didn't go down so well. Wiped the floor with one, came out to real American. Mostly just abused your country, so sorry.
No, that's alright. I feel like that's what most people from England do when they come over here to the United States, or at least from my experience. Not.
I imagine Ben probably does, because he's
Ben
intoxicated an awful lot.
Ben and his buddy he brought with him last time, Crazy Dave, who just kept calling everyone a cunt.
Who's Crazy Dave?
Or his Twitter name is Sir Dave of Danger.
Who is Crazy Dave, Ben? Is he from... Where's he from? Ben?
And I guess Ben has logged off too.
Eat shit, Ben. It's not just me.
Well, it happened with you, happened with him.
No, although, like, I defecated your flag and stuff, there was a lot of things I liked about America. Like, the food over there is so good. People are way more friendly over there. You've got like, so many different flavors of Monster. And through doing like CZW and stuff, I got to meet so many cool people over there, which was obviously like great. Dudes like Eric Ryan, Shane Hollister, a bunch of people in Ohio, Chrissy Rivera over at CZW. The Christs are obviously like, I love those two. Cologne is miserable, but he's awesome. So yeah, it was really good. I got to meet a lot of cool people. I got to wrestle a lot of people that I think I learned a lot from, even if they weren't in sort of the best surroundings. So it was definitely a valuable learning experience.
By the way, Ben is back. Ben, hello.
Hey Ben.
Yeah, I don't know why I missed it. It kind of went silent. So.
Who's Dave of Danger?
He's asking about Crazy Dave, Sir Dave of Danger.
He's a English wrestling fan.
Where's he from?
He is from Coventry, but I think he lives in Kent.
Oh. He was saying YouTube wreaks a lot of havoc in America, and he mostly called people cunts.
They did.
Yeah, but I mean, what can you do?
My favourite moment of being in America was randomly bumping into Ben Ward at the CZW anniversary show.
Yeah.
Just walking out and him being there in the crowd like, oh, hello, how are you?
Oh, you didn't know he was going to be there?
Well, he mentioned it, but I didn't know he was definitely going to be there. And I kind of like half forgot.
I'll be there for the 15th anniversary as well.
There for that good AJ Styles match.
Drew's gonna fuck him up.
I hope so.
I kind of wanted to see Masada versus AJ Styles, but
I'm still not completely understanding and shocked by the fact that you said Masada stabbed
Alexander James, who you
Alexander
wrestled, yeah.
James with a machete.
As a scythe, actually.
Oh, a
You know,
scythe.
like-
Sorry.
yeah.
Mr. Pogo style.
Yeah, exactly.
Most good.
Crazy things do happen in CZW, so.
I like
Well,
when you say
it's-
CZW better than when we say CZW. It's got more of like that twang on it. CZW.
So, besides getting creepy love letters from fans, would you say you would like to come back here to the United States for an extended period of time again?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to come back. I think if I came again, I'd try and come for a bit longer. It went by so quickly. It was like the shortest, quickest month of my life. So I'd definitely like to come back for longer, but your country's kind of strict on just letting us wander in there.
Yeah,
Sticking around for too long. Because, yeah, I didn't get to try all the food I wanted to try either. Which is, there's so much fast food over there. You literally can't do it all in a month.
Do you have a favorite?
Baconators from Wendy's. Quadruple Baconator.
Good choice. Good choice.
4 patties up in this bitch. Or if I was feeling poor on a day, Taco Bell. Because you could get like so much food for $5.
Oh, that's definitely true. I can attest to that.
I didn't like Chipotle. Is that controversial?
I mean, in general, no. Myself, I'm kind of 50-50 about it, but that's just me.
It's all about Five Guys, man.
Five Guys was good.
Yeah, Five
I
Guys.
did enjoy Five Guys. I think I enjoy the Damn Drops' song about Five Guys more than Five Guys.
Wow.
He's so passionate about food. I'd love to go to America and stay with him for a few months. Just be his friend. I got to meet Freight Train. That was pretty cool.
Freight Train's a fucking man.
Freight Train is the fucking man. He introduces himself as Freight Train. He was wearing a suit.
Well, yeah, it was that. Yeah, no, exactly. It was that. During WrestleMania weekend, my first day there, I was just in the lobby, just chatting up with like another fan. Freight Train, he walks up to us in his suit, and he is like, "Do you know where the Burger King's at?" And we just pointed to the direction, and he's like, "Oh, thank you."
I fucking love him.
I mean, for the longest time, part of me still thinks, is that a gimmick, or is that is that just him?
It's him, man. He's just 100%. Did you see him and Greg Excellent at Cage of Death?
I did. That was awesome.
That was my genuine match of the year for 2013. So good. So good. Ben, in something that you'll enjoy, Tyler Bate often quotes the Freight Train when he's finishing the last few reps of a set in the gym, which is quite the sight to behold. I've seen him struggling to pull out a last deadlift, and just before he goes for it, he'll yell out in the middle of the gym, "I'm gonna lift the weight now," and then throw it up. He often quotes Zandig.
Sounds like it has to be seen to be believed, to be honest.
It's pretty incredible. He quotes mostly, when he's lifting, Freight Train, Zandig, and the Ultimate Warrior.
That's all you need.
And he did draw the conclusion that they would be his dream King of Trios team.
Who was the third one? Zandig, Freight Train, and...
The Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, the Ultimate Warrior.
Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel. You can feel it do. His lungs only breathe the air that smells of combat. And by that I can only assume he means the combat zone. So, for King of Trios 2014, I'd like to see Team CZW represented by John Zandig, Freight Train, and the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig.
Oh, that's money right there. That is money. Just waiting to be made.
If I could just have a Lyle C. Williams photo of the three of them in the ring together doing the Zandig pose, I'd like.
He's retired now, though, right?
Yeah, he's retired, but he took pictures when fucking Devon won the Wired belt, and
alright, fair enough. Maybe he's just like staying a safe.
Change. Yeah, he was definitely there at the last show, so fuck it, I want that picture, and I want it blown up and framed on my wall. Or just as like wallpaper, repeated over and over again.
Code.
I'll second that.
Juicy Pat Loose wants it. Maybe we should start a petition.
Fuck yeah, I will.
Start the petition for Freight Train Ultimate Warrior. Kickstarter, yeah. We'll just all pay. Who wouldn't pay?
What's the one that like, doesn't take your money if you fail?
Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
No.
There's one that, like, even if you fail, they just take your money anyway or something.
Oh yeah, I know that one. It's like Indiegogo, I think, or something.
Well, not that one then. We won't do that one.
No, because we'll be getting the money if we start it. So.
Oh, okay, then yeah, we'll fucking do it. We'll do it, and we'll set like a ridiculous
number. If we
number.
fail, we can just like get Zandig, and the other two can wait.
Well, I imagine like Freight Train would be the cheapest to acquire. Not to like speculate on booking prices.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing it's only $5.
You'd assume so. If it's any more, that's like false advertising.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure he'd do it anyway, just to be in the ring with his heroes.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people would jump at that opportunity to be in the same ring as John Zandig and the Ultimate Warrior.
If someone said, "Oh, we want you in a 6-man tag with Jim Hellwig and Zandig," I'd be like, "Okay, I'm there."
Well, before we get any more off topic, even though I can talk about this all day long, Warrior, Zandig, and Freight Train. You were here in the United States for extended period of time. Is there anyone over on the European scene that you think should come over to the United States for an extended period of time? Whether it be, yeah.
That hasn't already?
Yeah, that hasn't already, for the first time.
Super biased. I'm pretty sure Tyler Bate will end up over there eventually. I'm trying to think because, I mean, I guess it was more rare. I don't know, like, I'm sure Ben can vouch for me, and like a lot of the people that I'm involved with in wrestling and see a lot of have been.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people up north and down south equally that people are calling for to go over or say they think should be over, but I don't particularly see a great deal of them to know whether or not they should. But Tyler Bate, I'm pretty sure eventually will end up over there in some shape or form. As I don't know, what do you think, Ben? I don't know your opinions on this.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Tyler's so good at such a young age that it wouldn't be surprising.
If you don't know Tyler, Pat Lucy, he's basically 16 years old, jacked to the nines, and wrestles like he's been wrestling for 10 years.
He's like Daisuke Sekimoto, but like 16.
So he's probably gonna do really well and make lots of money. And I'll take great pleasure in riding those coattails.
I'll definitely take your word for it. No, definitely.
He's really good. He's got a kick-ass mustache.
He does have an incredible mustache for a 16-year-old. How's a 16-year-old grow a mustache that good?
I can't grow any facial hair now, and I'm 22.
Tell me about it.
Testosterone coming out his arse in buckets.
Well, one of my final questions for you, Chris, is, I mean, you've been to a couple countries like Germany, England, and here in the United States. Are there any other places you would love to travel to professionally wrestle in?
Jamaica. Antigua. You laugh, but no, I don't know. Obviously everyone wants to go to Japan, but like you say, everyone wants to go to Japan. Other than that, I don't particularly fancy Mexico. It sounds quite dangerous.
It is.
Puerto Rico. That's
Puerto Rico.
Too, but
Hawaii, Honolulu. I don't know, I'd probably, to be honest, like, as stupid as an answer as, like, Jamaica would be, somewhere funny like that would be really cool to go and wrestle. Or, like, where else would be funny? Ben? Hong Kong? No. The bad place. Korea. There.
North Korea.
North Korea.
I'm pretty sure it's probably illegal there or something, so.
Iraq.
Unknown?
What's that?
From the unknown?
Parts unknown. The Rocky Mountains. Death Valley. Smoky Mountain.
But then you have to deal with Jim Cornette, so.
Canada. They all seem nice up there. Why not?
It's really cold.
France, possibly? I don't know. Somewhere warm then, I guess. Spain. Is the wrestling in Spain? If there is, you don't hear of it. I think Pete went to Spain,
they do
actually.
like the crazy like Ultimate Warrior tours there and stuff, where they draw like 10,000 people. So
I'll go wherever's ridiculous. Scotland, actually. There you go. It's not very far away, but I haven't been there.
Probably one of the top countries actually in Europe. So
yeah, Scotland seems pretty shit hot. A little bit of that would be nice. Is there anything going on there now?
what's that?
Ireland?
Ireland? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I want to wrestle on top of a pyramid. I want to wrestle, I'll tell you where I want to wrestle. You remember that WCW Nitro event that was like in the middle of a swimming pool?
You mean the one that was in the Mall of America? The first ever Nitro?
No, there was one that was in the ring. Bought. I'll Google it. That's the what FMW. Out of the water when people fall in. First line. Come. No one else is talking about them just reeling off insane places.
Yeah, it's really sketchy at my end. I think someone's connection or everyone's connection's gone crazy again.
Patrick Lucy, are you there?
No, I'm here.
He's just listening to the madness. He's just enjoying the ride.
Well, yeah, that too, of course.
Yeah, I don't think I want to wrestle in any countries other than in England, in High Wycombe. for EWA.
It's the place to be.
It's heaven in a handbasket. It's got Ruckus. Not the one you're probably familiar with, but a form of Ruckus. By this point, we can really say anything we like about anything, because I'm pretty sure no one's probably made it through this long of my drab rambling and wandering off topic so often.
No, it's alright. I mean, I love all your answers. All good answers, really. That's really all for my questions. Ben, do you have any final questions of your own for Chris?
How amazing is your match going to be this weekend on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say around a solid 8, actually, because I think
8?
I'm just in a singles match with Eddie
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, so maybe like an 8.
As crazy a place as EWA is, it could be a...
7 or an 8, I'd say, honestly, realistically. Unless, like, this is to someone who's considering possibly going, in which case, obviously, it's a 10. But I mean,
they could listen to this podcast as well while they're driving to EWA from miles away.
They could just, if they're driving all the way now from Ohio, getting ready in preparation, you probably need to set out a bit earlier. What day is it? Wednesday? Yeah, you couldn't drive that far in like 4 days.
Well, you couldn't, because it's kind of like an ocean. But
yeah, but what if you had Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Good point.
Then you probably do it quicker, because you could just fly.
Is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang the one that can go in water as well?
Well, it can fly, can't it? So
which car can go into water?
I know which one you're referring to. I can't think of it at the top of my head.
Come on, Pat Lucy. It goes
there's
into the water.
a car
and
called
like
Water
change
the
into a
amphibious
boat.
car.
Well, whatever the name of the car is, I'll find it and I'll be over there in England in 4 days.
Don't you bloody lie! You're not coming to England for that show. That show's got Jack Flash on it. You're not going to come over for that.
Okay, I'll think about it.
You won't. It's got Hijo de la Fueza on. He's also awful.
I'm glad you can say his name, because I still can't.
I came up with it. That's the only reason I can say it.
What does it
I
mean?
came up with it hilariously. The son of the sun or something stupid. I was probably drunk at the time. But it's also got who else is going to be there, Ben?
Pete Dunne's going to be there. Pat knows Pete Dunne from AIW, so...
Oh yeah, Pete Dunne's going to be there.
Tyler
See,
Bate.
now it might be worth the trip.
You like yourself some Pete Dunne, Pat Lucy?
I was impressed with Pete Dunne. Yeah, Pete Dunne. Cool with my book.
Cool with Pat's book is what he is. Not in his book, just with his book.
Yeah, just with my book, yeah.
You should write a book, Pat Lucy, and send me a complimentary copy, and I would consider reading it.
Well, I'll sell it to you for half the price.
Wow, mates rates. It's a bit cold, but
I gotta make money, man.
yeah. So sorry, Ben. We got off topic again. The match will be around a 7 or an 8 out of 10, maybe a 6. There's no Evan Sarvin in there, so above a 5, I'd hope.
You're going to come out to the BJW music this time, though.
Yeah, if you want, I'll do it.
And are you going to do a dive off of the Crow's Nest?
The Crow's Nest, which is the Crow's Nest to fill Pat Lucy in, is sort of this weird wooden shack that's built at the back of the venue that looks really unsturdy, and I think is held up by lollipop sticks and loo roll. So to attempt a dive off it would probably be tempting death just a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to wrestling Eddie Dennis, and then as the month goes by, things get more exciting with Triple X next weekend, and then Fight Club Pro the 31st. But Wickham's always a good time. The thrill of the grill.
Sounds like you have a great slate of shows coming up, and you answered half my last question, and that is, do you have anything else you would like to plug there, Chris?
follow me on Twitter if you like, though mostly these days I just retweet things. I rarely actually post anything. At Obey Brookes. John Gresham is back over soon. We will be getting t-shirts done and then selling them. If you would like to buy one, they will be affordably priced at a value of money to later be determined and sold.
Maybe.
They'll be made of cotton, short-sleeved, probably black. And yeah, go watch Fight Club Pro shows if you're in England, or Attack shows, or Great Bear shows, or Triple X shows. If you're in High Wycombe, in the Arts for Everyone Centre at the designated time, feel free to try and watch AWA this Sunday.
Duly noted.
I'm just kidding.
Awesome.
It's okay. Really. It's
It's
decent.
Saturday as well, not Sunday, but
Is it?
yeah. Yeah, you
Oh.
know that. It's always on a Saturday.
It's Saturday, I guess. And also, fuck Alex Cologne.
Awesome. Ben, do you have anything you would like to plug, or anything else you say before we sign off?
No, I'm good.
You should get some
I
things to
never have
plug, though,
anything
Ben.
to plug.
If you had a t-shirt, I'd buy one.
Who, me?
Yeah, I'd buy a t-shirt that said, like, I don't know, I'm a Ben Ward guy, or something stupid.
I may have to consider that.
What did the AIW thing call you? Big Ben Ward?
Yeah, I hate that shit, because there's like some guy that trains for Progress that calls himself that, so...
He calls himself Big Ben Ward.
Yeah, he has the same fucking name as me.
And it's great because it works on so many levels. Because, like, Progress is in the south, Big Ben is like a clock.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's genius.
You should make a t-shirt with that guy.
Oh wow, Big Ben Ward 2. Like, times 2. Big Ben Ward squared.
Yes. That t-shirt I would buy.
You could tag team Ben and just be the Big Ben Wards. Good God. The money-making ideas that are flowing right now from Juicy Pat Lucy. I think that's the best name ever as well. If there was a shirt that just said Juicy Pat Lucy, I'd wear it. It rolls so nicely off the tongue.
I've been thinking about it. Might sell it at my cheap pop table at AIW next month. Wink, wink.
What's at the cheap pop table? Cheap pop. Is he talking about it in the same sense that cheap pop is over here, Ben?
No. If you can
Like
like
Roller
freeze
Cola.
old WWE figures, then yes, but no.
I'm talking like Roller Cola and Panda Pops.
Fuck, what happened to Panda Pops?
Cheap pop. Cherry flavour, bubblegum. Obviously, lemonade.
They should sell that at the Planet. I'd be well up for some like bubblegum Panda Pop.
I think I might try and invest in some Panda Pops for the 31st and just make that my gimmick table.
Panda Pops. Good choice.
Do you know what a Panda Pop is? Pat Lucy?
No, I don't, but it sounds like it sounds awesome.
It's not, it's revolting, that's the best thing about it. It's like little bottles of pop with, soda? I guess you don't call it pop. With a panda on the front, and they came
We
in a
don't call it
variety.
Pop either.
Huh?
You can't even buy it anymore. They like stopped making it in 2011. I just googled it.
They stopped making it, but it was cheap, shitty flavoured pop. In a really tiny bottle with a panda on.
But it was brightly coloured, so...
It was brightly coloured and full of E numbers, so kids den off love them.
I think this is a good way to end the show on Panda Pops. So, Chris, thank you again for coming on the show.
Cheers for having me. Is there like
Yeah.
a song played before or after? I know some podcasts do that.
No, that's Cole Cabana's one.
No, it's like everyone, the Brit Rest chat do it. If possible, Pat Lucy, just at the beginning or the end, if you could play Youth Gone Wild, that'd be just sterling.
For you, Chris, I might just do that.
He's not going to do it.
Nah, probably not. Ben, thank you again for being my lovely co-host for this episode.
So
Yeah, I
lovely.
try my hardest. That might be my t-shirt.
That's what-
Ben Ward tries his hardest.
Does his best.
You did your best, Ben. You did your best.
Waste gives a just above average performance. Ben Warren.
Alright, well, thank you both gentlemen again. And for Chris, for Ben, I'm Juicy Pat Lucy, and thank you once again to listening to the Juicy Details. We'll see you next time.